Hello, everybody, and welcome to DM Writer's Room, a show where we demystify the DMing process by coming up with monsters, magic items, and scenes live.
Yes, sir.
Today we are going to be leaning in on a specific little slice of TTRPG history. For any of you who are not familiar, it's the zine. A zine is basically a TTRPG product. It can be anything. It can be about music, it can be about whatever. It's basically a self-published magazine that is designed to be efficient, easy, and most importantly, cheap. They are few in the page count. From what I was seeing when I was looking around, 60 pages is like up there, is like kind of the top of the heap. It's about as long as they get. More often than not, it is working a little bit less than that. I have a loose example. I have an example of something nicer than a typical zine that I'm going to just reach over here and grab super quick. I kickstarted this one. So this is kind of a loose example of what we're talking about. It's like half a legal sheet of paper. This one is nicer than zines usually are. It has like a slightly thicker cardstock cover and the pages are glossy. It is 55 pages, which means that it's, 27 printable pages plus one, so it's 28 printable pages. That's basically all it is. And it can be an entire game that you put into that small booklet. It can be an adventure. It can be a bestiary. We actually, fun fact for the audience out there, have worked on one of these before in the background that maybe you'll see someday, called Undead or Alive. I'll be honest with our audience, it's done. It's just
finished.
It turns out writing things and doing the math on monsters is the easy and fast part. Like, you get that done in a couple of weeks and then it's like, great, the formatting and art's gonna take another 2 years. So
Or a lot of money.
or
and you know what you have to do to get money?
$300,000.
You need to kickstart it. And do you know you need to kickstart something? Money to pay for art to then kickstart
really
the
strange,
thing.
really strange, really tough, a tough nut to
Yeah.
crack. That all mystery is.
Rambles here, and he says, "Undead or Alive sounds fun." Yes, it
It's
is.
cool. It's freaking undead bounty boards. It's a thematic wanted bounty board thing.
If you want to check out a little preview slice in the wrong game system, Undead or Alive is supposed to be for D&D, but if you go check out our most watched live stream ever, Falling Leaves, you can catch a brief encounter with one of the monsters in that booklet, the Tenebrak. Quite an odd and interesting little thing. But that is not what we are doing today. What we're doing today is working on a zine with the goal of finishing it by the end of this month. So we have 4 weeks to get it done. And the first thing we need to do is pick what the fuck we're going to talk about for the rest of this month. What are we doing for all of February? What are we kind of drilling down in? I have a strong pitch right at the start. I have not a pitch, I have a limitation that I think is really going to help us, and I'm not kidding. I think that we need to create an adventure where assets and art can be pulled from like Wikimedia Commons. So the aesthetic bouncing around in my brain is like woodblock cuts. It's like old-timey newspaper pirate ship, like fantasy. You know what I'm talking about? There's like medieval village woodblocks. I feel like those kinds of things are always in the Creative Commons. So I'm somewhere in there. I kind of want that to be something that we could pull on. Either sepia-toned photos, Wild West, or like woodcut medieval, I think are both really interesting options. Because you can always find a woodcut of like a wolfman, and you can always find a sepia photo of like a haunted-looking child staring into the distance. Like, you can always find that shit. So that's my, if I could put a limitation out there, that's something I'm interested in. But I don't know if that's a game. I don't know if that's an adventure. I don't know if that's a little mini bestiary. I don't know. What do you guys think? What are your early inclinations?
This is the idea that I cooked up on my ride back from getting food. I thought it would be fun if the 8-page mini adventure is your party is hired to retrieve the jewels of a Demilich, like the little eyeball jewels.
Okay.
I looked it up. Demilich is not one of the copyrighted things for D&D.
What?
Of the 20 monsters, not one of them. So
That
it is
so
safe.
funny. The Demi-Lich of all things is not a property
Yep.
of the Gygax
It's because
estate.
the Lich predates it, and it's based off of the
It's a
Lich, so they are
derivative.
not allowed.
Yeah.
So we can do a Demi-Lich thing where you're hired to go get these little crystals. My thought was you would be delving into a dungeon of the Demi-Lich, hired by one of the scions of the Demi-Lich. The Demi-Lich is gone, and if you get these crystals back from inside of the cavern, that guy can put them back in the Demi-Lich's skull, and it comes back to life. Yippee, everybody's happy except for the regular people of the world, because Demi-Liches are bad. So you would be going down, clearing out this dungeon, getting the crystals, putting them back in the Demi-Lich skull.
So you're bad guys?
Yeah, you are at the very least
Henchman.
unscrupulous.
It's kind of fun to have an henchman adventure. It's kind of fun to have a little bit of a, a little bit of Black Company, right? A little bit of that.
Mhm.
Can I say something?
Mhm.
I immediately wrote down as the title of our zine, Eyes of the Archmage. I mean, it's right fucking there.
Yeah, it's
Now,
perfect.
if we wanted to be like the modern take on classic adventures, it would be Eyes of the Archmage. If we want to go with the classic, oh no, it's kind of out of frame. I'm gonna have to move it. The hidden shrine of Tamoa Khan is right here, so it's like then it would be Eyes of Kazu. We just put the name of
Yeah.
the Lich on the front. That branding would work on me. I don't know it would work on everybody, but I love that shit. I love an adventure that unapologetically is like, this is about my world. What's up? Like,
I made the Lich, I made the dungeon, I made it all up, and now you have to buy it.
in the world of Kazroi. You're like, you picked the world? Holy
Whoa.
shit. Yeah. The whole first page of the zine is like deep, deep lore. It's so funny.
4-point font,
Just
80 lines.
Fucking unbelievably. It's 6 columns. It comes with one
If
of
you-
those plastic old man magnifying glasses is
I was
slid in
gonna
the
say,
back
if
panel.
you're an early Kickstarter, you get a magnifying glass. You can read it.
That's powerful.
Michael, what's your
Yeah.
pitch if you have one?
My pitch was, it's not gonna beat yours, but I'll say it anyways. Ethan, in our last stream, you had mentioned this. I thought it'd be fun to bring to a zine. A party getting hired by dwarves for a mining trip, and it goes very awry.
Yeah.
That
all right.
you
Hired by
stumble
dwarves.
upon something that was buried long ago.
Dug too greedily, dug too deep.
Yes.
I have that
Now,
magic card.
before we
Too
start
greedily, too
casting
deep is
votes,
the name of a magic card from that set.
so good. Before we start doing that, I do have our shared business ideation page. I won't say the website name. No free sponsorships here.
But if you would like to sponsor us, dear God, please, the money would be so juicy.
Anyone.
It would be so juicy. I will sell out so hard and so fast.
Yeah,
It'll make your
exactly.
fucking head spin.
No, so I do have that message board open, and it has all of our previous Kickstarter, adventure, and one-page
Which
RPG ideas.
I love
open.
because there's some clunkers on there.
There's some weird stuff.
Yeah.
This is something that nobody in Foolhardy's viewership history has ever seen. I'm gonna read them out to you all verbatim.
Don't read all of them.
And I'm gonna read them all. We've got number 1, which I love the name of. It's Text of Cthulhu, and then parentheses, super shortened Call of Cthulhu hack. Get it? Call text. It's a bit.
Oh, that's funny.
That's number 1 on the one-page RPGs.
Can I say
The next
something?
one is called.
It's a strong idea. Unfortunately, I get the sense that these are sorted, and that as we go,
They
they
are.
are going to get
They are.
drastically worse.
They get weirder. Next, we've got Cloak and Dagger. This is a lasers and feelings hack where your 2 traits are Cloak or Dagger.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty
so
nice.
far.
Is pretty nice. Next, it's Blade Dance, a cyberpunk RPG. And
Like a
this is the
Wraith
same thing as the
bit?
last one. It's Blade and Dance. Those are the 2
Gotcha.
attributes you get to
Gotcha.
use.
That's
It's the
I
exact
say
same as the
pretty
last
funny.
one.
Pretty into that.
It's pretty cool. Next one, Area 51 More Job.
These are all bangers. I thought you said there were bad ones. Area 51 More Job about a retired group of heist people who need to break into Area 51.
Area
Bangs.
51, exactly. Yes, exactly. Next one. This one is, I think, too high. It's called Hard Boiled Preacher, a whodunit with one priest.
Sorry.
And that's the
whoa,
whole
whoa,
name.
whoa, whoa! Sorry. Somebody get fucking Ryan Johnson on the phone. That absolute bandit who stole our idea for Wake
Yeah,
Up
what
Dead
the fuck?
Man.
This was posted September 26th, 2024. Hey, what the hell?
I'll take my cut.
How did he get onto our messaging board?
I'll take my cut. Come on, hand it over.
Yeah, cough it up.
There's a 20-sided die over here. I think somebody fulfilled their death save. Like, come on.
Brambles giving one. Wake Up Dead Man.
Exactly.
Wake Up Dead Man is the movie. Yeah,
That's the movie.
one.
That's what we're talking
Yep.
about. Okay.
Next, we've got Weirder Occurrences, a Kids on Bikes one-page hack riffing on Stranger Things.
Weirder Occurrences is Spencer. I thought you said some of these were bad. I'm proud of
getting down there
every
now.
one so far.
Next, Chain Gang. This one, the conceit is you are all convicts who are chained together and have to escape imprisonment.
Incredibly good.
Against the Clock. Shared stopwatch timer with set amount of time to complete mission. Like chess, where you go back and forth and you have to
Yeah.
hit the thing. Next up, no quote, no reference here. The Scheming Eunuch. Interesting. Interesting. No, what is the Scheming Eunuch? I don't know.
Oh, I remember what this is. It was a one-page RPG where you play the like identical character that is in every fantasy novel. Like the guy in Game of Thrones is kind of the same as fucking Glockta in the Joe Abercrombie series, who is kind of the same as. So there is this archetype, and we were like, why is this guy in every fucking show and book and movie? We should make a game about this guy. Okay.
Now, the idea of all of you being different scheming eunuchs, all trying to convince the king to do your plan
A competitive,
to get you on the
a
throne,
PvP one-pager.
is really funny.
That was good. It's
Next,
a fun political game.
Mario Party style WinCon game. Random things selected from a list that you have to accomplish to get a quote star.
Yeah.
There's some bones
That's a
in there, but
mechanic.
it's nothing.
That's a mechanic.
Yeah, it's a mechanic that we thought maybe we could build something off
Not an
of.
idea necessarily, more of a mechanic.
No, and that's why it's on the bottom. Next is Alchemist. Use a chart of items to combine into spells. Again, a mechanic, not an idea.
Yeah, definitely not.
And then I've got Everyone is John, but hack it so it isn't super offensive.
Okay, I take it there's a game called Everyone is John that's not great.
Everyone is John is unfortunately sort of belittling to people with schizophrenia. Because you are in the mind of John, and you're all the different voices of.
So it's like
John.
a dissociative identity disorder. It's like a D.
Yeah,
So the original
exactly.
game is a DID direct game, and this is like, hey, what if
Yeah.
what if we took
We
a
do the
different
same thing,
take?
It's not that.
Can I tell you something? I absolutely guarantee you that came around shortly after one of us saw Inside Out 2. One of us saw Inside Out 2 and we're like, guys, I just had the
an
best
idea.
original idea inspired by nothing you're ever going to hear.
So that's all of our one-page RPG ideas. Some bangers.
Give me the top 4 rapid fire.
Top 4: Text of Cthulhu,
Good,
Cloak and Dagger, Lasers and Feelings hack,
good.
Blade Dance, same thing, Area 51 More Job.
I like Text of Cthulhu and Area 51 More Job. Those are the two that I
And
like.
I agree. I think Area 51 More Job is very fun. Michael, do you have an initial react?
I like all of them very much.
Okay, so
fair
let's
enough.
let's look at our we need to move ahead. This is a show about making bold decisions. When you're prepping at home, hi, welcome to DM Writer's Room. It's a show where we demystify the DMing process by teaching you about how we create things and come up with adventures live. You're gonna have a lot of good ideas and a lot of bad ideas. The secret is the good ideas are all as good as one another. It's just up to how much work you put on them. And the bad ideas are also going to be fun and good because you're playing a game with your friends and you're probably going to be excited to spend time with your friends and maybe a little drunk. And so you're probably going to just kind of have a bit of a banger time no matter what you do. So I'm going to narrow it down to 4, and I want each of us to see if we can't winnow it down here. So We have Eyes of the Archmage, a demi-lich adventure. We have Hired by Dwarves, You Dug Too Deep, Time to Figure It Out. We have Area 51 More Job, and we have Text of Cthulhu. Those are our 4 options. Area 51 More Job has a terrible siren song, which is that the name is the greatest thing we've ever come up with on this channel at any point. It's important that we don't walk down that path just because the name bangs.
Can I throw one more in? Sorry, we'll make it 5. We have a Kickstarter idea sheet as well, and my favorite one on there is spell component quests. We would have 8 pages. Each page we could break down with a different spell component and a quest to get your party to that spell component.
So we pick like
1,000 GP in gold or diamond dust.
Yeah, we pick power. We pick like high level crazy spell components that most people just hand wave, and we go, no, we're gonna make a dungeon.
You gotta get it.
Yeah. Okay.
What's a weird thing? What's the spell component or the material components for Wish?
I don't believe there is one.
Really?
Yeah, Wish is the most powerful spell in Dungeons and Dragons right now. I think that you just get to cast Wish.
I just think it'd be cool if we had a spell in mind that we made the quest for.
One of the key things that Wish is designed to do is to cast other spells without a spell component. It's not a joke. That's one of the main things Wish does. When you try to do anything other than that, you have a 33% chance that you can never cast Wish again. Not a joke. It's, in my opinion, bold stance. I think it's kind of bad design, but I'll take it. My perspective, what I've always thought it is, and what I have homebrewed before when I have high-level characters, is you get to cast Wish once in your entire life. When you cast it the second time, it will work, and you will die when you cast it. A mortal cannot take doing that twice. They just can't. The first time you do it, it works, and you are immediately like drained. You feel something in you not break, but fracture. And the second time you do it, it breaks, your soul shatters, and you die and are jettisoned into the astral sea, unable to be revived. So that's my bold stance for the day. I guess a hot take at minute 23 here. So, my favorites are Eyes of the Archmage and Area 51 More Job. Those are my faves. I really like the concept of Eyes of the Archmage. I like playing bad guys. I think the Zine, I think when you try to do a bad guy adventure and you have it be a full 200-page adventure, you end up spinning your wheels, and inevitably it's like, well, at the end they become good guys, right? Like, that's the only logical place it can go. Having 40 pages means you can be like, well, what happens at the end is they probably die. If they don't die, then maybe the bad thing happens. And Area 51 More Job is funny. The heist mechanics are easy for me to imagine. And filling a couple of pages with roles, and then a little bit for how to play the game, that means we would also have space to be like, and hey, to the heist master, to the GM, to the warden, here's what you can do. It would give us space to give both people some information. So I really like both of those. I won't be mad if you guys outvote me and it's Hired by Dwarves, Text of Cthulhu, or Spell Component Quest, but those are my 2 favorites.
My top 2 are Eyes of the Archmage and Spell Components Quests.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to say Eyes of the Archmage takes it, because I think that that's my number 1.
Spencer's
Spell Components
like,
is number 2. Area 51 More Job number 3.
Spencer's like, what brilliant, what sagacious, brilliant man came up with so bold an idea. So I tell you what, next February, tune in for Area 51 More Job or Spell Component Quest. We'll vote again.
I would really like this to be in sort of old D&D style. Not that it's going to play that way, because we're just using regular 5e rolls. But I do want there to be fucked up traps, ugly ass zombie monsters, like old style D&D.
This is foolhardy Press's Tomb of Horrors.
Yes.
Eyes of the Archmage is not like it's like, hey, make up a one-shot character. You can name him if you want. Like, you can name him if you really want to. Don't write a backstory. Like,
you'll be better served playing this in the Morkborg system. Truthfully.
Yeah. No, I think it's really funny to be like, I wouldn't say more, but I would say like, there is no resurrection, there is no revivify. Make your shot at the eyes of the Archmage. Like, you know, can you go get them? This is like a Enter the Gungeon style. If you get to the end and you die, snap back to the beginning and be like, you want to try again? Do you want to try again? Like, can we make
another world?
Is it now? Let me ask. Do we want this to be hyper lethal and it's just give it a whirl, see if you can get through it? It's a couple of pages. It's really fun, light thing that you can do for a D&D night when you don't have prep. Or is it a roguelike where you keep bamfing to the beginning of the dungeon and you keep hashing until you make it through, until it's like, all right, we got killed by all right, we know that there's a trap at the bottom of the stairs because it killed Greg. Greg's like, it hurt the whole time. And they're like, thank you, Greg, for that input. Or is it make your attempt at the eyes of the Archmage? That might be fun, because then in the back of the zine, the last like 3 pages can be landmarks, DM, when a party dies, right where they died and how it happened. The next time you run the game, their bodies are there. Like, their corpses
items,
can be found, their items can be found. You can find them there. That would be really funny.
Yeah. I do think that it's take your fucking shot. And if you die, you die, and you have to play again with different people from the beginning.
That's fun.
Take your shot. And then in the other corner, I'm going to write tombstones. Because I love the idea of being like, hey, every time somebody dies in this dungeon, pencil it down. Where did they die? How did it happen? And especially if at the end it's like, and when somebody finally beats, when you as a GM run this and somebody finally beats it, shred it. Burn it. You did it. Congratulations. You beat the eyes of the Archmage. You made it through.
Now, are we going to implement in this dungeon, just to make it more lethal, no rests? No long rests, no short rests, any sort of rest limitation?
If you want to go classic D&D, man, yeah, you can try to take an 8-hour nap in a monster-populated dungeon. I hope that goes really well for you. We're going to roll for an ambush every 2 hours. Like...
Yeah.
I think we get... Just make it a little bit longer. We're done. We get one rest at the midpoint, but it's a hard thing to reach.
The idea of going through the dungeon and at one point you finally like unlock this door, disarm all these traps, kill the guardian beast at the front, and it swings open. Boom, 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 boom. It's just nice, calming, relaxing. Like, hey, little nap break.
Now, okay, for that to be funny and make sense, did this Lich build? So I've got to pitch that. We've often said my fan theory. We're about to get into some D&D fan theories out there, so strap in. Acererak the Archlich. Check out our video on Acererak, Zaztam, and Vecna on YouTube. You can watch it today. Acererak, famously, his soul gem? Soul jar? What are they called now?
Soul jar, I believe. Soul jar.
I messed it up in the script.
Magic
Brambles
jar.
thinks jaw.
All I know is I put the wrong thing in the script, and we got corrected, and you had to be like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. I want to say soul jar.
What do Liches use besides phylacteries? Soul jar.
Soul jar. Okay. So Acererak's soul jar is out in the wind. No one knows where it is. It was in a 4th edition adventure, but it gets destroyed at the end of that adventure, and Acererak survived. That means it wasn't really his soul jar, right? My fan theory is Acererak famously is the Lich who built the Tomb of Horrors. My theory is that the Tomb of Horrors is Acererak's soul jar. The heroes who die in it feed his immortality, and that's why it is full of treasure. That's why people go there. That's why Acererak keeps putting treasure in it, is to lure in more dipshits to try to make their way inside and get what is within. That's my fan theory. What if that just is true about this one? What if this dungeon is the soul jar, and that's why you only get one shot? Because when you die, you get crunched. Like, you're done.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And that also gives us, in my opinion, a really funny reason to have there be fully a rest area. Have there be a rest stop with a fucking Buc-ee's halfway through. Where it's just like, no, yeah, the Lich put that here. Why? He wants you to keep going. Because we can even say, I know we wouldn't write this anywhere, but in my mind it would be like people kept going in and getting too hurt and leaving. He needed them to get bold and stupid and keep going so that they would die. And so he put a rest stop halfway through so that they would keep pushing and push themselves into death.
That's perfect. Oh, and if it's after you get through the restroom, after you get through the break room, if it like closes off behind you and now it's basically no going back. I'm sure there's workarounds. The party might be able to figure something out to break back through and get out. But for all intents and purposes, after you take the long rest and you continue on, you are locked in until you either die or beat the dungeon. Before that point, you can back out. You won't because you're not a coward, but in story you could.
It's so fun if this becomes one of a series of zines called The Dungeons of Fadia. Like, this is really good. Okay. So, this is a dungeon that is a part of an adventure. It's not just a dungeon, right? The dungeon is the soul jar. There's a rest stop to trick adventurers into going deeper. So there is a full, like, a place that is clearly meant for you to sleep there. Let the party do with that information what they will, right? That should make you uneased and nervous. I feel like there's gotta be some kind of wisdom save or bad shit happens, right? We can't just, it's gotta be something in there, something squirrely.
Yeah, I could see like a dominate person situation. When you go in, if you get dominated, you're going to head straight for the first trap you can find. This restroom is completely safe unless you walk to the edges of the room with the very obvious traps. If you do that, you will die. And if you get dominated, you're going to walk right into the trap and get killed. That's a win-win for the Lich.
I actually really like, even if we don't want it to be in the room, if it's in the middle of the night as you all sleep, I need everyone to roll a wisdom save. One of them fails, and the DM texts them and is like, the next time there is a trap, you are going to trigger it on purpose while you are all in the most dangerous position possible. Is really funny.
So funny.
That's good.
Especially if we say this is a hidden roll. Don't tell anybody else. Like,
yeah, it's gotta be.
Write it and hand it to your dungeon master. Got it. Text. Hilarious.
Yeah, really powerful. Okay, so take your shot at the eyes of the Archmage. The dungeon is the soul jar. Rest stop to trick adventurers into going deeper. Wisdom save or trap trigger. And then these idea of tombstones. Okay. Time for us to delve into a little bit more of the crunch here. So we have 4 of these sessions to come up with this. So today, are we like outlining?
Yeah, let's come up with the broad strokes today, and then next week we can get into like part 1, part 2, part 3. Part 1 we'll do next week.
So my number one question is this zine just a really nasty dungeon and we're gonna spend 4 weeks going like encounter by encounter talking about it? Or is this an adventure with a dungeon at the end? And we start with the guy who hires you.
I think just the dungeon. This is like straight up, make a dude, you're here to get gold and money and leave and magic items. I think that's part of the allure of something like Tomb of Horrors. There's no buy-in, you're bought in, you're going in.
Okay. Hired by evil, wizard? Is this like the apprentice, right? Is that what we said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hired by evil apprentice. So is at the beginning, I have a really important question, and that lets me know about scale and about level. The text on the first page for players, does it say make your villain or make your henchman?
I think henchmen.
I'm happy either way. It's just, are they level 14 or are they level 6?
I think henchman level 6.
Yeah, level 6, I feel fits better.
Make
Gets
your
too funky otherwise.
henchman. All right, level 3, 5, 3, 5, or 6.
I think 6.
Yeah.
All right, level 6 to 8, 6, 7, or 8. Just to give a little bit of an option of like, we'll pick that as we work. I'm not quite sure where exactly I want to land. I need to look. I want every class you could pick to be up and moving. I know that happens at 5. I'm curious if there is another good number for us to pass. Like, is 5 good, but 7 would be even better, because that's when monks or whoever, get to start doing their big iconic thing. That might be pretty good. All right. So it's just a huge... I guess it doesn't need to be huge, right? We're thinking of it as huge because we have to spend 4 days on it, but I guess it isn't. So my next very important question, is this a one-shot? Is this dungeon meant to be run in a single session of Dungeons & Dragons? And if so, is that a full 4 to 6 hour session? Or is it meant to be an adventure, a short adventure that will take you 3 sessions?
I think low end 6 hours.
See, I was thinking a short adventure, make it 3 sessions.
Yeah.
Well, so that works with what Spencer said, low end 6.
Mm-hmm.
So if we say...
That's like perfect path.
Yeah, so if we say like this adventure should take 6 to 12 hours of play, that's 2 to 4 sessions with an average of 3, right? Because most people that I know don't actually play the 4-hour game of D&D, right? They play the 3-hour or 2-hour kind of game. All right, so the thing we're doing over the course of the next few sessions is we're making a dungeon. We're making a zine-sized dungeon where you are trying to get the eyes of a demi-lich so that you can return them to the evil apprentice. You make a group of henchmen delving in, and it is very much themed in the style of like Tomb of Horrors. You are probably going to die. It's more about can you make it through than it is about like, getting really deep into... We can give roleplay opportunities. I think that's fun. People will sort of inevitably, but I like the angle that it's like, can you make it? Like, can you make it happen? Can you get through, with just your wits and whatever nonsense you manage to come up with? I think is really fun. So if it is meant to be this like very long spanning thing, I think that makes a lot of sense. It also tells me a little bit about encounters, right? The average party can handle like 4 to 6 encounters a day. 4 if they're all super brutal, 6 if not so much. I tend to, controversial statement, I tend to count like a trap as a half an encounter. A lot of people say to count that as a full encounter. I don't super buy that. I think that they're like, but it could take a spell slot. And I'm like, yeah, or the rogue could roll with reliable talent because he's level 7 and immediately get out of the situation. So that means we need there to be, right, 4 to 6. So that means we need there to be 8 to 12 encounters. Mandatory encounters, right? I think we should have if the party decides to get in over their heads and be completionists and open every room, yeah, they're going to die. They're going to get way over their head. Spencer, you kind of said perfect path. That implies to me that there's more than one way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, a lot of those classic dungeons are like, oh, dead end. Like, oh, dead end, you didn't take the right path.
I don't like
this
dead
is
ends.
a little bit more like choose your adventure. Like, hey man, you can take whatever way you want. It's going to be different every time. It's just going to suck every time.
Scary, very scary, not scary. Which door are you taking?
The not scary door is
Awful.
a sphere of annihilation. You just instantly die, and they're like, it wasn't scary.
You weren't scared. You weren't
No,
scared.
Were
at
you
all.
deadly.
That as the dead end is really funny. A true dead end.
That's funny. I don't know where we're getting encountered. I do have one that would be fun for like probably like the start of the dungeon.
All right.
It'd be a political encounter. It's like, is the rest of the Archmage, Archlich's henchmen, I suppose, his group, his party, like you have to show your worth, show that you're on their side, or else instant fight that you probably will not win.
I think that's a social interaction at the front door.
Mhm.
And it doesn't even need to be a group. It can be a guardsman. You are a henchman of this lich. This lich has henchmen all over the realm, right? You show up because you're supposed to do this. But this door guard doesn't know that. This gargoyle door guard is told, don't let anybody in ever except for me. So then you can kill him, you can talk to him, or whatever.
This opens me up to my big question. I just realized that we have a small issue, easy to solve, I think. If this dungeon was built by the demi-lich, was built by the lich who then became a demi-lich, but the skull of the demi-lich is somewhere else, and the eyes are in the dungeon, and getting the eyes lets us bring back the lich, why the fuck are the eyes in the dungeon? Why'd they do that?
I could see this. I don't think that the eyes of the demi-lich in regular D&D lore do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I don't
Who
think
cares?
they bring them back to life. I think in my mind, the skull is more accessory than anything. The eyes are what hold the resonance for the demi-lich's soul. When he dies, they go to his reliquary. His reliquary is a dungeon. If it was just a big jar, it would go into the big jar. His is just this crazy spot. So the lead hench person has the skull and says, "Go get the eyes. Bring them back."
This fucking lich made an impenetrable fortress to protect itself when it came back, and he fucked up. He made it so good that no one can go get the eyes to bring him back to life.
Exactly. So that's why you as henchmen, heroes are never going to do it. You got to go do it. You got to go get this
That's also a
shit
really
done.
fun hubris story to be like, he wanted to create a dungeon that no one could pass, that would be undefeatable so that none could come in and destroy him. The only problem is none of his apprentices can make it through to bring him back. It's really fucking funny.
Brambles had a fun idea too. It would go back to the you had to keep on making new characters a little bit, but a previous henchman group failed to bring the eyes there, and you had to find them on their persons. So you're basically, if you were to do the tombstone hopping, each time you have to get back to your bot, your last run.
So you don't just have to get
grab
in
the
and
gems.
get the eyes. You have to get out. So if you go in, get the eyes, and then on your way out, die like a dumbass, you the second guys, your new players, get to the plinth, and the eyes aren't there. They're like,
and
oh fuck.
I'll take it a step further. If your party retrieved the eyes, you got to find your party's body. If your party didn't make it that far on your next iteration, it's a random roll that the DM has to make. If you roll a 3, it ends up in the wash basin from the last group who wasn't you. They got them. They're not on the plinth. The first time, it's on the plinth. After your first attempt, it's not on the fucking plinth anymore. You got to find those bitches. And it's always somewhere different.
Unless you roll a perfect D20.
I think it's funny.
100.
It's funny. I like the idea. I love the idea that the eyes are wherever you dropped them. So as you keep trying to do the dungeon, you're like, all right, wait. We left. We went down the left. It's like the players aren't allowed to draw a map. It's like, all right, we went down the left tunnel, but we were facing the front door. So it's the right tunnel from our perspective, and so they need to try to snake their way through up and around the side. I know it's over here fucking somewhere.
And I'm all for that as long as the party reached the eyeballs. You have to go get them from your last body. If you never reached the eyeballs, but you already made an attempt and you didn't get there, another group did get the eyeballs and they put them somewhere else. And now you got to frickin' find them. No matter what, it's not going to be on the plinth unless you succeed number 1.
I like that with a 1d6. So option. So if you roll a 6, they're still on the plinth. You know where you're headed.
Yep.
Good job. If you roll 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, they are somewhere really deep and shitty. They tried to leave, turned around, and got lost, and they ended up going deeper into the dungeon instead of further out. I think that's really funny. All right, let me make that note.
Our music stopped playing. Wait,
No,
can
it
you guys
didn't.
hear it?
No, it didn't.
Oh, I've had the volume off this entire time. I'm living off vibes. No sound.
Good vibes.
Okay. Is there a quest element to the dungeon?
What do you mean?
Is there a quest element? Like, it's go get the eyes and come back, for sure. Are there undead? Are there people to talk to? Are there factions? Or is it dungeon delving grind set?
I think a dungeon delving grind set.
Let me rate for the
And we
first
can
one.
put
So,
a few notable NPCs, but like they're not. You don't need to find them. Unimportant.
I was gonna say I want at least one NPC.
I
that we
want
interact
one
with.
who has a Flava Flav style necklace that
Mhm.
nobody questions.
yeah,
and who
giant
will lie to
eye,
you.
and he's sort of a badger,
Yeah.
panther, duck. Man, check out our video on the platypus of D&D. All right, so let's start with what we have so far, right? It's 8:21. We're making good time. We got like 20... We're 47 minutes in. I guess that's what matters more. This gargoyle defender. You have to persuade or fight them. I absolutely do not understand how you could persuade them or what you could do to prove yourself. You just walk up to the door. What the fuck does that mean? He's like, prove yourself. By doing like a cool backflip? Like, what do you do? How do you prove yourself? Because to me, that sounds like, oh, okay, we have to fight the gargoyle to get through. I as a DM who has been running the game for a long time, literally do not see another option unless, because if this was a full adventure, it would be like, bring an innocent person here, kill them, raise them as a skeleton. You have proven to me that you belong here. If it's not that, what is it, like a fucking game of table tennis? Like, what are you doing with this gargoyle?
Hear me out. You go up.
I don't
The
want this to be too
gargoyle
silly.
asks-
I don't want this to be a silly invention.
Not silly. This is leading back to the old style of D&D where it's like, did you do it? No, fuck you. The gargoyle asks you a question, and he says there are 4 possible answers. Tell me which one's correct. Whatever this question is has to do with the lich or whatever. You can make a history check. It's going to be very difficult to get it correct. If you get it wrong, which you have a 75% chance of doing, gargoyle fucking attacks you. If you get it right, gargoyle goes, welcome in. So when you retry it next time,
Yeah.
you bumped it up to 50% and then 75% and then you've done it.
Okay.
My idea was it's not a gargoyle. It's all of the henchmen are here. Why does your group think it's go right now?
I think
But then it's an
that can
adventure.
still be true. Yeah, then you're dealing
Then
with the
we're
people.
backing
I
up the
think-
camera. It's an adventure, and the first chapter of the adventure is, hey, what's up? Welcome to Black Fork. What's Black Fork? Black Fork is the town that now exists at the mouth to this fucking dungeon because so many of the apprentices have tried and failed to go in, and they've come out limping, missing a leg, and have set up a blacksmith, and they have set up an alchemist shop. And you arrive to find a town of people who are like training their children, like, you can do this. There's ninja warrior courses and kids doing push-ups, and it's like
I do like that.
they like raise them to try to be able to go through the dungeon just so that they can send them in and die trying to do it. That's the full adventure version of this dungeon. If not, I think it's a gargoyle with he diddle dee dee answer this true my riddles 3. Like, I think it's gotta be.
Brambles had a funny idea. Maybe the gargoyle's crafty. He had to sculpt him a new friend. Now every henchman that goes in has to craft him a new gargoyle.
You make it, and every time you go back, there's one more gargoyle to fight, would be
Yeah.
so fucked up.
There's 12 gargoyles.
No!
Riddle dee dee, as they all say.
Okay, gargoyle
Riddle-dee-dee,
defender.
time to die.
Gargoyle defender, persuade / fight, and then it's, so what is it? It's questions, and you can history. What are lich stats? It's history and it's arcana, right? Is there another one?
Yeah. I don't think so.
Oh, and persuasion and deception. So let's say that. As the GM, be like, okay, he says, prove yourself. Kazaranai the Green was a wizard of the ancient world. What was the first undead? he wrought. And it's like skeleton, zombie, shadow, wraith. And the part, it's like, and as the DM, you can be like, all right, you can roll a history check to remember. You can roll an arcana check to figure out what is most likely true. Or you can roll persuasion or deception to try and trick the gargoyle into letting you inside. And so, like, arcana, if you fail with a 15, you say, skeleton is the easiest to make. And you're cut down, and then the thing attacks, and you're like, what the fuck? That's what you said. And it's like, the easiest to make the skeleton is. You think our master so feeble that he began with children's toys? And the first thing he made was a wraith or some shit. If you do persuasion or deception, you manage to sort of smooth your way out of it. If you roll history, motherfucker, you just remember. You just know what fucking his first thing was. It's in his memoirs, The Many Faces of Me. And it's like a black tome with like his undead face with gold filigree, him when he wore a mask for a couple of seasons because we didn't have the budget to have the undead face. Like, it's a whole collection.
I like the idea that we force a single roll as well. You can't roll charisma, and you roll wisdom, and you roll intelligence.
No, one of you rolls once.
And you say it. You're not all going to say something because you're going to get attacked. One of you gets to roll. Pick who.
Now,
That's good.
I don't want this fight to literally be instantly lethal. And it can't be against one creature because that's not how D&D works. So, who attacks you other than the gargoyle? And how bad is this first encounter?
I'd say it's rough.
Are we trying to kill somebody? Are we trying to kill one character? So for the record, those of you out there, if you're like, building encounters is hard. If you do the math on how likely your characters are to hit, right? Most of the time, what are they going to roll on a die? They're going to roll a 10 or they're going to roll a 10.5. You can figure out how often they're going to hit. You can figure out, we'll do this math for you. You can figure out, but if you're prepping at home, you can figure out how often they're going to hit, on average how much damage they're going to do, and you can figure out how often the bad guy's going to hit, and on average how much damage he's going to do. You can pick if one guy will probably die, or if two guys will probably die, or if three. You can just tweak the numbers until you get the result you want. So do we want it to be like, he uses up resources. It's a tough fight. Most likely no one dies. A couple of people get really badly hurt. You kill the gargoyle. You breathe heavy. As you are walking through the door, you begin to hear the sounds of grinding stone. You turn around and you see the gargoyle's body starting to like reseat and grow back together. Or is it one of you dies? Almost certainly. I think those are my limitations. I don't want this to be the TPK fight at the opening to the dungeon. I think that's a little cheap.
I think to lean into the reality of the old dungeons, one person should die. It goes against my sensibilities of game design where I'm like, what's that guy gonna do the rest of the night? Not my problem. One guy dies. This is an old-fashioned dungeon.
Yeah, do we want to have some system for dead players to interact? Like in Peak where you can be a ghost? Like, do we want to give them something to do? I feel like we should give them something to do. Do they get a skeleton to control? Do they...
Funny, Bramble said whoever dies becomes a gargoyle.
They take over the old gargoyle's job. New gargoyle gets to join the party.
He dissolved. That's fucking funny.
I think you become a skeleton in your class and race is skeleton. You get to swing your sword.
So it's the party and a CR 1/8 skeleton.
Yes. And as long as there's one living party member, the skeletons can persist. After that person dies, the skeletons fall apart.
That's fun.
Okay. How are we doing on time? I'm having a blast. This is hilarious. So encounter 1 is this like gargoyle who defends the place. You have to persuade them, and if you fail that persuasion, you have to fight, and that fight sucks. We make it so that it is not a lethal encounter, but it is a hard encounter. It's likely that one of you will go down, right? You get that done.
Maybe
one
two,
way.
who knows?
One way or the other. So we only have 2 opportunities, 3, for encounters that cannot be skipped. There's the encounter in front of the front door. There's the encounter behind the front door. and there's the encounter with the room with the Lich's eyes in it. Those are the only 3 encounters that every player and every group, no matter what they do, will encounter. All of the other ones are optional in their own way, right? They're going to introduce themselves to some number of them. These are the only 3 that every single party is going to encounter. So let's move on to the next of those. I think these are our big 3 to think about. And then next time we get to just start getting silly with it. We get to be like, all right, what's down the path of pain? Like
Banicula. We can say
Yeah.
whatever at that point.
So you get up to the front door, you do this gargoyle thing. This might be effortless. They might know the answer. And after the first time they do it, they're going to know the answer every time the first time they get it right. So I need there to also be an encounter the second they walk in the doors. Is this a complicated and stupid trap, or is this a fight?
Here's something I'm going to pitch besides this. I think that the true answer to the riddle is shadow. The first thing that he created was a shadow. I think that within the halls of this domain, there is at least one shadow that just trails the party and at inopportune moments stabs one of the party members. And they just take like a d6 of damage. Like, what the hell? And that just happens constantly. You get stabbed by a shadow. That's just how this dungeon works. That's not an encounter necessarily. It can be.
It's so
Especially on the
funny.
second run, where you're like, you figure out that a shadow's stalking you and stabbing you. So you first walk in the door, light up a torch, find the shadow, and kill it before you all get stabbed a bunch of times is funny.
And it just keeps coming back. It's the eternal shadow. It's the shadow of Sargon. And it just comes back no matter what.
It buys you some portion of peace.
As the last of you
it
falls,
dies.
our camera delves into the depths of the dungeon onto a pedestal on which 2 eyes rest, and we watch as out of one of those eyes a shadow like slides out and fills the room again, and it's like, son of a bitch, that stupid fucking shadow. That shadow is the scariest thing when you are the one player alone with 3 skeletons. You're like, fuck, that goddamn shadow's back.
Number 1, when you open the door, spike trap.
So you open the door
it's a
and you're in
fucking
a
spike
narrow,
there.
it's like a 10-foot hallway, and it's like, we made it through. Immediately.
Of course.
Okay. Talk to me about why this spike trap is awful. Got me off a slice of why this
here's
is
what
like
I'm thinking.
really annoying.
I think that it's the entirety of this hallway, which is like 20 feet. There's low-hanging chandeliers. You can jump up and grab the chandeliers and monkey bar your way across. You do have to make athletics checks to do this, or you can fly or do whatever to do your workaround. This is a massive spike trap. You're not going to jump over it. You're not going to 10-foot pole your way across. You have to acrobatics check, or you have to use spells to get past it.
And the other reason it really sucks is it's not just spike trap. They are tipped with poison. You get poison condition.
Oh.
Now I have a question.
Now, yeah, go ahead.
I have a couple of questions. So number 1, if this is like a 20-foot hallway and they fall into the spike trap, can they get out? It seems like they should be able to. Spike trap's not going to do like 3s. It's not going to do like 65 damage, which is what it's going to take to kill, like a level 6, 7, or 8 person. Number 2, do they get a deck save to like land between spikes? That would be my next question.
Fuck no. Absolutely not.
And
You
then-
had your chance.
And then number 3, I have a stupid option that I would like to do. I think that the acrobatics check should be like DC 15. It's like, oh yeah, that's hard. You have to swing from chandelier to chandelier. I think doing a spell is doing a spell. I think another option is, or you can make a DC 20 athletics check to run so fast that they like shunk behind you as you, so you are abandoning whoever else you are with to do it in the hardest and worst way possible as you just but then the next time
That's
you do it, you can
hilarious.
be like, okay, last time I was a normal guy. This time I'm a Goliath. I cast bull strength on me. I pick up the entire party and I athletics check and I sprint with the entire party on my shoulders as fast as I can.
I bet there's gonna be some. You can also do a strength check to throw your party members if you have the Goliath.
If it's a small or smaller creature and your
Uh-huh.
strength is over 20, you can throw them. feel like that's pretty good coverage. What I was going to say is later on, I want there to be a trap that looks like one trap, but it's a hallucinatory terrain, and it's just a way worse trap with different triggering mechanisms.
That's really funny. I like that a lot. Okay, so I think then the only deck save I could see is it's a deck save to jump up and grab a chandelier.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're hanging over a spike pit.
And that's if you try to do some other fuckery to get past it. If you're already on a chandelier, no deck save, bro. You're on there. If you slip, you hit, and you get stabbed by a spear.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
How much damage? Well, we don't need to do the damage math until after we pick the level. We'll figure that out later.
Probably 50.
What did you say?
Probably 50.
I thought you said 150, and I went, oh, so it's the TPK hallway. It's the go fuck yourself hallway. It's the green door into the Tomb of Horrors where it's like, oh, you did the front door, die.
Yep.
Whoops. Rocks fall, everyone dies. It's a shame. It's a shame that's how that went. All right, and then some version of poison.
It'd be fine if we had rocks fall as a trap. just a little nod. It doesn't kill.
It'll be in there.
Just
now,
rocks fall, everyone dies being in one of these dungeons. I think we kind of have to. Like,
I think what our spin on it could be rocks fall, everyone dies is the name of the encounter. And what falls from the ceiling is a group of like
stone elementals?
Golems. Yeah, stone elementals. They and they have to fight big ass rock guys. And then move on.
That's fine.
Pretty good. I like it. All right.
Smaller gargoyles.
Now, we're going to do...
It's every enemy's a gargoyle.
It's gargoyles all the way down. You rearrange the letters in the Archlich's name, and it spells gargoyle. It's Yargo Gaggle.
Here's the gargoyle at the front. The eyes are inside the gargoyle in the front.
He knew it all along, you fucking idiots. Spoilers for a fantasy novel Spencer and I have both read. All right. Third section, last one. So this is a really weird thing for us to do on the first episode. Last encounter. The only other encounter that every single person is going to do. So that means at the end of that hallway, it splits. Like, it opens into a small room that splits down 3 ways, and you're like, we went left last time and we died. Do we want to do left again? Or do we want to try something new? And then you take whatever paths you get, but all roads lead to the Lich, lead to that last room. What's there?
Here's my pitch. If you get to the stone altar and you grab the crystals, an avatar of the Demi-Lich appears formed around the eyes. This is like the dead man switch, last-ditch effort to keep himself alive. This avatar forms, you are essentially fighting a Demi-Lich. It's not quite as intelligent, probably not quite as damaging, but is, in essence, a Demi-Lich. That's what you're dealing with. This will happen no matter what. Yeah. If it happens on the first encounter, you grab the eyeballs, it's summoned, it happens. If you get them off of a dead group of people in room 3C, the same thing happens. No matter what, no matter how close to the end you are, when you touch the stones, the avatar of the Demi-Lich appears, you have to fight it.
Alright, let me pencil down Demi-Lich avatar. I'm going to do a little bit of quick searching. You guys chat. I'm going to figure out if a level 7, 6, 7, or 8 party can fight a Demi-Lich.
Yeah. If we do that,
and
I
we
would
can also
like to...
make a Demi-Lich stat block for this guy, obviously.
Yeah.
Just to gamify it just a little bit, it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun if we gave some weakness that you'd exploit on this. Like it's weak towards a certain type of elemental damage or
radiant,
blunt force or something.
Yeah, these bad boys are
radiant
resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, and they are immune to necrotic, poison, psychic, charm, deafen, exhaustion, frighten, paralyze, petrify, poison, prone, and stun.
So the answer is radiant damage. That's always sort of the thing.
Would you like to give one more, though? That's a hair more common?
No.
Oh.
The demi-lich. It's like the scariest fucking thing in the universe other than a lich, which is a demi-lich, but it's awake. Like, I love giving them I think, this is my hot take, I think that every creature in Dungeons & Dragons should have a vulnerability. I think everything.
Yes.
I think bandits should have a vulnerability. Like, I think that just makes sense. Do you know what most humans I've met are vulnerable to? Like, poison. Poison kills
Knives.
most people. Like, poison kills most dudes. Like, I don't... Yeah, but you can get stabbed and live. If a cobra bites you, that's the ball game. You either get medical attention or you're done. Like, I think humans should be weak to poison. I think it is the most underused thing, like, period. I think it's really silly that that's not way more common.
Very, very true.
All right.
So Demi-Lich is CR18.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the numbers right here. 20,000 XP. So what are we assuming? Party size, right, is usually 4 to 6?
Yeah.
Yep.
So starting at 5, for us to be able to get to that 20,000 XP, that's a high encounter, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that would be level 11. Level 10
So
or
I
11.
think we will.
A party of
we
5
will have
could,
to weaken.
could tackle, yeah. I mean,
The
it's
Demi-Lich.
not that far off controversial, but if the party's level 7, the difference between a level 7 and level 11 party is actually not huge. So I do think the other thing is Demi-Lich is really boring to fight. So we obviously need to judge it up. Demi-Liches have Necrotic Burst, which just does a bunch of necrotic damage. They have Howl, which does a bunch of psychic damage. They have Energy Drain, which does a bunch of damage and decreases max HP. They have Grave Dust Flight, which lets them run. And they have Necrosis, which lets them do their Necrotic Burst attack. They are not a super interesting fight. So I think it makes sense that we're going to kind of zhuzh up that a little bit, right? They mostly... The only time you really encounter a Demi-Lich is when you killed a Lich and you fucked it up, or when your DM wants to introduce a Lich who will be brought back to life later. I did this once. A word of warning to the DMs out there. Love you guys. I introduced a Demi-Lich to my players so that I could bring him back as a big bad later. And then my players just absolutely dedicated themselves to making sure that that Demi-Lich could not be brought back, and they did a good enough job that I had to write a different boss, a different big bad for that campaign, because I was like,
Yeah.
fuck man, yeah, no. They literally like called up a Deva, like an angel, and were like, there's a fucking Lich down here, and I was like, that'll do it, like, I've got no
Yeah.
solution for that. So what's it like to fight this Demi-Lich? So the gargoyle obviously just like summons some other stone bullshit. Like the gargoyle's on top of a couple of other pillars, like pop, 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 pop. The spike trap's just a spike trap. This Demi-Lich, if we make a huge part of the central lore that his first creation was a shadow, obviously there's got to be a bunch of bullshit with shadows here, right? Now,
Yeah.
Yep.
we have already written deadlier shadows. We have written nobodies from our nowhere. Nowhere is the mother of shadows in the world of Phaedia and the world of Prospect. It is the first shadow. The reason that mortal men used to fear the dark is nowhere. A primordial shadow that will eat whole towns. And nowhere creates nobodies, which are these like amalgamated shadows that can crush and destroy and interact with the physical world. Then there are shadows, and then there are nothings. So there's nothings and nobodies and nowheres. And nothings are like little pipsqueak. They're like swarms. So do we want there to be like big, tough shadows, like in the vein of nobodies? Or are they more nefarious? Is it just a shitload of undead and we don't want to get too attached to the shadow thing?
I'm totally open to throwing nobodies in. I would go so far as to say, if your character has been backstabbed by the shadow throughout the dungeon, you might be vulnerable to attacks by the nobodies. You've been marked for death. by the shape.
That's fun ability.
And in case anybody's curious, if memory serves, I do believe that Nowhere was originally created to be the big bad final creature of Undead or Alive, a zine product we came up with one time. All right, so some nobodies roll up, right? Primordial shadows, amalgamated things, beings made of many lives condensed into single forms. They are strong, they are fast, they are deadly, they are brutes. I like it. So if the Demi-Lich avatar are they more like a controller, somebody who's like manipulating, moving people around the battlefield, giving them debuffs? Or are they more an evoker, an artillerist, just dispensing huge amounts of damage?
It's way cooler for them to be an evoker. TBH, so I'm gonna have to say they're blasting damage.
So that means this Lich, that tells us something huge about the rest of our design. That means this Lich's reputation is not one of like duplicitous double dealing. That means this is like, no. This is like Voldemort shit. This guy is like fun. It's like, it's very different, right? Vecna is Aztam. These dudes are all like, I have created 7 evil schemes, which when they cascade together. This guy is like, I summon the bones of the 1,000 hordes, and like a wave of bones goes over the city, and you're like, what the? I summon the swords of the 6 kings. What the fuck? All right, I like that.
What 6 kings? This world doesn't have any lore. It's 8 pages.
Buy the full adventure and find the lore.
Now, I do like this image we're painting, and I think we need to lean into it, of this Lich being able to summon the runic swords of the 6 kings, and the gargoyle at the beginning asking, what creature did he first create? And throughout this dungeon, there being like a portrait of a girl on fire, and you're like, what? What is this? We know what it is. The party has no idea. They never will. That lore is for us to know.
Yeah.
And we can tell the DM about it.
This is a huge tip I have is like, listen, man, a lot of people will give advice to DMs like, don't get too lost in the lore. I disagree. Get lost in the lore. Just understand deep in your heart that the players will never investigate it. That's fine. What matters more than anything in the world is that when your players try to do that thing that shithead players do, where they go, oh yeah? What's that building? You go, 14C? And you can just say, like, this is what that building is. Or it's like, that, and somebody's like, I want to roll a history check on this portrait. And everyone's like, why? It's a one-shot dungeon. And then you go, all right. And you flip to the 5-point index at the back, and you go, that is the princess guy. And you're like, holy shit. I live for that. I live for the swords of the 5 kings to each have the name of the king from whom they were taken inscribed on the side, and you're just like, why? Why would we ever? Oh,
I feel like the portrait of the girl on fire is the first dragonborn born of flame.
super cool.
It's all Fadia lore that nobody's ever gonna see.
So the Demi-Lich avatar is like an evoker artillerist, doing a lot of damage from the back line. Their second line are the nobodies, which are brutes. They are a lot of health points, and they're there basically just to eat up attacks and stand in front. There's not going to be like 6 of them. There's going to be like 1 or 2. I need 1 more person, and I need them to either be a controller, somebody who's going to make the fight harder. It's going to make it harder for them to get to the Demi-Lich, or I need it to be a support. Somebody who's going to be making the Demi-Lich and Co stronger.
Controller, I think, is the reliquary itself. The dungeon is mobile.
Oh, so it like
elongate the
answers
room.
to the call.
Yeah. The tank is right in front of the Demi-Lich. Nope. It's the room's turn. It got 15 feet longer. The Demi-Lich moves away.
Yeah, your cover will always disappear. His cover will always reappear in the perfect place. I think it's really funny.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right.
House of Horrors.
This is a sick-ass dungeon.
It's
and we're only
8:50.
like 20% done.
It's 8:50. We got 10 more minutes. We already kind of know. Let me see if I can pull up really quick what a nobody does so that we can fill in our viewers. I think I have it just like in a sidebar. I think I can get to it really fast. But outside of that, what are some of the things that we want this Demi-Lich to be able to do? What are some of the things that we think it's like important? By the way, I did just find the document after looking for 4 seconds. I want to give a shout out to maybe the best name we've ever chalked up. Nowhere. Primogen of Shadows. Like primogenitor. Like the very first. The one that came before. Absolutely fucking banging.
Abilities that I think the Demi-Lich needs to have. One, some sort of death touch ability. If you get close to this thing, it's going to put its hand on your face and pull 90% of your life essence out of you. You don't want to be close to it. You don't want to be far from it because it's blasting you with necromantic fireballs. There's no winning in a situation with a Demi-Lich.
Guys, we've gotta finish Undead or Alive.
Yeah. So that I don't think we've really done much with. I want him to have enlarge reduce.
What would he be? Would he be using it? Reduce, pretty obvious who he'd be using it on. The enemy.
Yep.
Would he be enlarging the shadows himself? What
Could
would
be
he
either.
using it on?
Well, the issue is just that the reason Enlarge Reduce doesn't get much use is it's extremely flavorful and very interesting, and then in practical effect, what it does for the most part is make your strength a little lower. Like, on characters, it doesn't really do much. I think it gives you disadvantage on strength checks, and that's like it. But we can make... Listen, we don't need to give him Enlarge Reduce. Michael, what are you chasing when you say Enlarge Reduce? Because we can give him Grasp of the Seventh Seal. And it can, you know, these can be nefarious, awful things. We don't need to literally always have it just be like, enlarge. The reason, we're going to get controversial again really quick. The reason, guys, that Wizards of the Coast wants to give you a stat block with 9, they've stopped doing it now, and I understand that, and that's great. The reason they want to give you a stat block with like 7 spells is so you have to go by the fucking spell book. That's it. They did that. Everyone's like, why do they do this? It's so complicated. It's so that you go by the spell book. That's it. They want you to have to buy a second book. So we can just come up with a spell. So what about Enlarge Reduce gets you going?
Mostly just it's one of the few things that it's a buff / nerf spell. Like, not, there are a whole lot of spells that do both in one.
So I definitely see if this boss is really shadow themed, I could see an ability that would empower a shadow but weaken a mortal man very easily, right? Stitch Shade, where it's like he steals the shadow from a normal person, it weakens whoever's shadow is stolen, and he stitches it on to one of the nobodies and it buffs the nobody. Like, that's real. That's very if that's fun. What you're chasing, that's, I mean, it's right there. Spencer, you had an idea. You sat back and did finger steeples.
The name of it would be Enervate and Enliven. Enervate saps energy, Enliven gives the energy to the shadow.
Like it.
So Enervate, Enliven, right, is debuff buff. Spencer, Death Touch sounds kind of like a last resort for a Lich Artillerist who's supposed to be standing in the back row. Is it on a recharge? Is it power word kill, weapon. But he touches you? Is it...
It's a breath weapon. It's something he uses at the last chance, but then if you get back up in his business, he's got to roll a d6. If he nails it, then he hits you with it again.
Okay. So, does it just kill you? Is it save or die?
It's fitting. I think that's cool.
So here are our options. Option number 1, the biggest, the baddest, the worst it ever gets. If you have less than 100 hit points, you die. That's the D&D classic. If you don't have enough HP, you die. Not super satisfying. Can be really interesting. I love to have it happen maybe once or twice a campaign. you get towards the end and somebody goes, I told you. I normally let one person do it once, and they are like an evil wizard. And then later, if you encounter a really powerful undead, you might have to deal with it getting kind of spammed. You might have to deal with a creature that can do it a couple of times. That's some level 20 bullshit, where, you know, people are getting revived and resurrected constantly, right? Okay. He picked such a weird time to walk away to go stop his dog from eating plastic.
Yeah. Brambles had something that could be fun. Something that causes fake death condition, where it makes everyone think they're dead for a few hours.
That would be kind of funny if he had one that was just you think your friend died. So option 1 is you have less than 100 hit points, you die. It's classic. It's mostly for really high level play where you want to burn through a bunch of revivifies. Option number 2 is make a con save. If you fail, you die. If you succeed, you take so much fucking damage. Like, if you succeed, you take an unbelievable amount of damage. You might go to unconscious anyways. And then option 3 is if you fail, you take a bunch of damage. Enough to statistically kill a character, but not enough to guarantee it.
I think if you fail, you take 50 damage. You don't instantly turn to dust. You don't necessarily always die. If you're a tank and you've taken a few hits, you're probably going to go unconscious. You can be brought back up. You're not dying on sight. You're taking 50 fucking damage, though. It's not roll 10d5 or 10d10. You're just taking 50. Guaranteed. If you don't make the save. If you make the save, probably have.
Can I make
damage.
Annoying side pitch? Not annoying. A side pitch. You take damage equal to half of your max HP. If you have less than half of your max HP when he does it, you die.
Yeah.
Well, you don't die.
That's
You
cool.
fall unconscious and you
fall
begin dying.
unconscious.
But like, I like that as the tank is 130 HP. Okay. He takes 65 damage. Oh, the wizard has 50. Okay, he takes 25 damage. Like,
that's cool.
Michael, what was your thought?
If I can add a little effect to it, we call it something like turn shadow. And if you fail, like a limb turns into shadow, you no longer have use of it.
It's.
Can I say something? Can I make a pitch? A third ability is trap in shadow. He like pushes you, feel yourself get like you lift up off the ground and get slammed into your shadow on the ground, and you like shunk, and you are stuck for one round. It's basically stunned,
That's cool.
but you are a 2-dimensional shadow for one round.
That's pretty cool.
You experience the horrors of becoming a 2-dimensional figure. You exist on a flat plane with no vision to either side. You can feel that your organs are held in place by laws of physics instead of by flesh. You are sundered and unmade, and then you snap back out as a normal man. It's just
6
like,
seconds later.
it's like, oh my god.
That's very fun. I like it. Good bit of horror.
You experience what it means to be 2-dimensional. You immediately begin to wonder if there's a 4-dimensional being looking at you as horrified as you now look at your own shadow. Like, you're like,
It's always fun, the science behind it. Science fiction, a little more meta-science-y, where people will say the 4th dimensional beings, they travel in time, basically. Time is their medium that we can't quite.
Imagine there was another direction called Kisno, and that there was one more way to turn, and you're just like, there's a really funny, there's a mod called 4-dimensional Minecraft, where it's like, you cannot travel along the 4th dimension, but you have been given a gift. An alien has given you a remote that lets you rotate things on the 4th dimension. And so you can be walking and turn a dial, and suddenly you just see a new area open in front of you, and you can go into it, and then you turn the dial back, and it seals and shifts around you, and you're just, it's really brain-breaking, but really interesting stuff. Okay. So we have this like death touch. You got too close, you get fucked up. We have Enervate, Enliven, a little debuff buff. That's got to be bonus action because this is an evoker, not a controller or support. Chain to Shadow, become 2-dimensional. Also probably a bonus action because this is I never want this Lich to do something with their action that isn't I cast Poison. Like so. Death touch is the emergency switch. What is the big, awful, normal spell? What's the cantrip? What's the thing this Lich does that is consistent and so horrible that it doesn't need more flavor than what it has? Is it, like, how does an undead summoning thing evoke for damage? My mind goes to, like, being impaled by spears of bone shooting out of the ground, or it like he reaches out his hand, pulls it back, and you feel your shadow ripping off of your body. You feel suddenly the shadow inside your mouth start to choke you. Like, these are the things that this is the like body horror shadows angle. Or is this dude just a master of the fucking arcane arts and it's fireball and lightning bolt and cloud kill? And is it master of the arcane arts, or is it a bunch of necromantic shadow shit?
I think master of the arcane arts. People always forget that about liches. These dudes were just regular ass wizards before they said, okay, I gotta do something about this whole mortality thing. He happened to be an evoker. He's blasting your ass with the elements. You're getting hit by icy blasts.
And we can come up with really fun, awful spells, the kind of things. I hate when a lich is like, this lich has had more time to study than any other being. He casts lightning bolt at a 5th level. I'm like, I'll fucking hang up the call right now.
This guy's casting fission. It explodes next to you.
I want fission. I want temperature differential. You watch as he conjures ice and fire in 2 different hands, claps them in front of him, and a shock wave fires out, and you're just
your lungs collapse.
Yeah, I want the real shit. Like, I want that nefarious stuff. One of my favorite, definitely talked about this on stream before. I've always wanted to, Spencer, this is probably a spoiler for the home campaign that you're in that I'm running right now. A scene that I have tried to use a few times, I've gotten to use it once or twice. Most campaigns don't go long enough for like late game, is I have Vecna in like every one of my campaigns because I think that dude just rules. He's got a cool energy. His name is Vecna. His hand and eye are somewhere else. A scene where Vecna is like walking up to a fort that the players are hiding in and is like, you have thought you've planned well for me, but you are so limited. You young ones know only spells of level and circle. You know not the old days of magic, when we ran wild. And he like puts his hand on a wooden stockade fence and zombifies the wood of the floor beneath your feet. Like, all of a sudden the living material that is the wood starts to like splinter and grow faces, and you're like, what the fuck? And it's like, yeah, I don't need spell slots, dog. I'm not a normal wizard. I'm not some dude. What do? I bring the bacteria in your gut that died 10 seconds ago back to life under my control. I cast shit your pants. Like, that's... Liches should be working with some weirds. Have you ever talked to, like, a graduate student about the thing they're interested in? They don't care about any of the normal stuff anymore. Have you ever listened to the jokes comedians make to other comedians? They aren't funny. Like, they have gone so far that they have landed in like weird space-time. They've transcended.
The levels of abstraction are almost unrecognizable.
Yeah, it's truly untenable for the average person to try to interact with. It's crazy. It's wild. It's silly.
9:05. We cooked. We got a few sessions left.
Exactly an hour and 30 on the clock. We came up with our idea. We came up with the 3 encounters everybody's gonna do. So we've gone from 8 to 12 encounters to 5 to 9 left. And that's 5 to 9 9 being, I guess, maybe the maximum, or maybe it can go beyond that. 5 to 9 that they are likely to encounter. So I think we have 3 sessions left. We just spend each one kind of going through some interesting themed dungeons. Maybe we do that for 2, and then on the last one, we put our big boy hats on and we go, okay, let's start arranging rooms. Let's start figuring out what the fucking layout of this here dungeon is, so that we can get a little bit of idea of where we can put some stuff. I thought about asking if anybody wants to call a shot right now. Does anybody want to add an essential element, like a non-negotiable element to the dungeon somewhere?
Yeah, I already said mine, and I'm going to say it again just so we keep it locked in. There is a trap that when you get to it, looks like one trap with one mechanism. It's not real. It's illusory. You're going to step over to that part of the trap to think you're disarming
This
it,
is so
and you're going to
fucked
get
up.
blasted by a fireball.
The thought that it's like, if you have a passive perception above 20, you notice the... and I want to be clear. I want the first trap to be well hidden.
Hard.
It's like, if you have a passive perception of 20, or if you make a perception check because you say, I check for traps, and you get a 20, you notice the fake illusory trap and you think it's real. If you beat a 25... you notice it's an
Then you
illusion.
see it.
If you beat a 30, you notice it's an illusion and notice the second trap that it is obscuring. Like,
Yeah.
truly nefarious shit. Okay, trap, illusion, second trap. I'm gonna give mine. I want a dragon in this fucking dungeon, boys. It can be
Yeah.
a skeleton. It cannot fly. I don't care. I want a dragon in this dungeon.
There's a
We're
dragon.
doing it. I'm not here to do half measures.
For sure, for sure.
Mine is there. At some point, there is a decision where you get to where there's 2 doors. One goes to a room that is way too bright. Is when you go in there, shadows are cast everywhere.
Smart.
And then the other one is a room of magical darkness. It's all a shadow. Both options suck.
I love that. Can I also add, I do like the scary, not scary, very scary. We can't write that on the doors, but it can be essentially like you see light as if it's an exit through this
Yeah.
way. If you go through that door, you do get hit by a ball of annihilation, and you do die.
I do like, there's an arcane symbol carved above each of the 3 doors in front of you, which lay on the 3 hemispheres of the sphere in front of you. Wah! Not hemispheres, I guess. Which do you pass through? And somebody's like, I roll an arcana check to see what the sigils above say. You see that one says, beware. A second says, be scared. And the third one says, pretty fine. Pretty much all right.
Exit.
The third one says, it's fine through this one. You open, it's fine through this one, and you get hit by disintegrate. It's like, yeah, it's really stupid, really funny. You see, there's so much soot on there. This is where most cultists die. Is they're like, I know the language my master spoke in life. I know the correct. Oh! It's so funny. It's just like,
Can't even
fuck.
breathe in this room. Too much dust.
All right, with that, I think we're going to call it there. Thank you for watching DM Writer's Room, a show where we demystify the DMing process by coming up with dungeons, magic items, monsters, and zines live. Coming up with a dungeon is just about coming up with a bunch of ideas you're excited about. Put a big scary monster in. Give him abilities you think are cool. If you're like, oh, but I'm worried about making that monster because I don't know how much damage it should do. Pick the CR you want them to fight. Pick the damage numbers from that stat block and write new shit that it does. Make it a little more cool. Make it something you're more interested in. If you're gonna make a trap, make it a real trap. Don't make it a tripwire that makes an axe swing. If you do, make it hard to find, or the party better be level 3, right? Make it something nefarious. Building a dungeon it can be about practically what is this space for? How would this place actually function? What it should much more be about is what is it going to be fun for the party to navigate, and what is it going to be fun for you to narrate? If those 2 things are true, you're going to have a really good time. If you get in your head about like, well, there needs to be water, I used to really be that guy. I think you're headed down the wrong tree. Like, I think you're barking up the wrong tree, man. Relax. How do they get water? Somebody cast a fucking spell about it. Like, what do you mean? Somebody cast create water. It's not too complicated. There's a spigot of endless water somewhere. Pick something fun to narrate and fun to navigate. Check out our YouTube videos. We have, they get posted every other week. You can check out long form videos on the on week. You can check out short form videos on the off week. Right now, if you mosey over, you can hear about that, our favorite freaky little guy from Curse of Strahd. He's a platypus of a man. Go take a peek. Right before that, we talked about some really cool liches, just like in this video. In the shorts category, you can hear us talk about Mothership. You can hear Spencer talk about Clarg, the most lethal and deadly creature. And by the way, I want to make a call-out post. A couple of people that were like, I think the Tarrasque is more dangerous. Here's the thing, guys. The problem is, the Tarrasque is made to fight 6 level 20 characters. And, hey, most of the time the level 20 characters survive fighting the Tarrasque. I've run those games. They win every time because they can cast Wish and bullshit. Clarg, if you do the CR math, Clarg is meant to fight level 1 jabronis. No!
No.
You know,
They should be level 3, and then they've got a fighting chance. Clark deals too much damage.
it's a thing of, if we created a fair encounter using CR math, Clarg breaks the math. And I think that is
It's
true
stupid.
on such a wild scale that it's hilarious. Yeah, he is viciously lethal. Go watch the video. It's fun.
Clark is deadlier than the Tarrasque because Clark is going against level 1 parties. Level 1 parties will never encounter the Tarrasque. The Tarrasque statistically kills less people than Clark does.
If a level 1 party, if you're like, I put the Tarrasque in my level 1 game, I don't know how to tell you this, man. You broke the rules of encounter design, man.
Unsubscribe from the channel. If you did that, go ahead and drop the unsubscribe.
Go ahead and hit that
You
button.
learned nothing.
Go ahead and hit that button. If you didn't, and if you had fun with us today and you want to have more fun with us in the future, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, check us out on Twitch, check us out on Instagram, check us out on TikTok. We'd love to hear more from you. Maybe you can buy this zine in the not too distant future. I don't know. We'll find out. Catch you on the next one. Peace out. Stay foolish.